there. So I can't support this. So I guess my motion would be to deny this proposal, this draft ordinance, and direct staff to come back with a strictly voluntary inclusionary housing ordinance when we do the 2009 housing element.
So that's your motion?
Would that work? I'm looking
Well,
at
no, I don't
council.
agree with that, but if that's your motion, then you have a motion on the floor and you need to have a second.
Yeah. So there is a motion to take an alternative route, deny what's before us, come back with a revision to include the 2009 housing element. Is that
with a strictly voluntary inclusionary housing ordinance in our 2009 housing element?
Second.
Okay, there is a motion and a second to the clerk.
Sorry, to clarify, we already had one motion on the floor that was seconded. Is this?
The original motion was made
Rescinded.
This is a substitute, and that would
Yeah,
go
this is
forward
Okay.
first.
All right. Okay, discussion on the new motion before us. Supervisor Koufax.
We're making a travesty of this whole process. I think here, this is something that has to be done. We do a lot of things on this job that are not exactly as in conformity that we would like it to be, or as effective or change-oriented as we might like. This is something that has to be done. Let's do it. It's as if we're digging in over something of language. We put it in place. We correct it when we move to the next level of dealing with the housing element. It's before us. It's a matter of months. But for heaven's sakes, let's not dig in and make ourselves look even more foolish by voting down something that county council is telling us just doesn't work, will not accomplish anything, and will set us up for more work for staff. This will be about the most inefficient and even destructive thing that we can do, because we will be out of compliance and we'll find ourselves up to our neck in problems. So I just ask for a third vote on this. I will support this for all my objections to it, for all my recognition of the fact is we cannot do the right thing that is worth doing. This is something enough is enough. We got the point. We don't like a particular part of it. It is ludicrous. But let's get it off the table and be done with it, please.
I'm Supervisor Kovacs. I was distracted there for a minute. So you're saying you would vote for the motion?
No.
Oh, okay.
Let's get this off here, get this out of here, and vote to get it move forward with at least two supervisors, I believe, up here would say, let's get this accepted as imperfect, as ludicrous as it is, but let's not be going around and around in circles forever.
Okay. I was asked for my comments on it. Most, if not all, of the changes that I had asked for had been included. I am stuck on the in lieu fees. I had asked for a voluntary situation, but I'm also concerned about the wording of 10% and the county-wide median price. That to me is an increase even at today's depressed market of what we had previously talked about of fees. If I remember, we were looking at 20 to 25,000 before, and now at 10% of the medium of 309, it's up around 30,000. So it's an increase of what I had actually talked about before.
The other one that was in the original ordinance was 120%. It was a very complicated formula.
Right.
It was 120% times the house price,
Right.
subtract the cost of building, and my understanding when we did all that it ends up higher. And so the housing providers had suggested this one because it's simpler and it's a straight percentage and they know what they're getting into. They don't have to deal with, well, what's it going to actually be when it comes down. They know what their houses are selling for. They can look at what their houses are selling for, take 10% of that, and go it straight across. And that's why it was agreed on by the two groups. Why
That was an item that was agreed upon?
Yes. Yes, it was.
Okay.
And Just one more comment on the in lieu fee, and that is that when we spoke to the developers about it and we explained that it was a voluntary fee, they don't ever have to pay it unless they choose to. Some of the responses that we got were, well, you know, if all I have to do is build one duplex in my project, I can do that with no problem. Was some of the comments, rather than having to pay a fee. When we discussed the fact that the fee was up to the developer, whether he paid it or not, that seemed to change the perception. And the reason that my understanding from county council was that because of the case law, an in lieu fee needs to be allowable. The developer needs to be able to choose that option in case he cannot build the units. And that was why we're pushing forward for it.
Okay. Supervisor Pinches, do you have a
Well,
comment?
you know, I completely agree with Supervisor Colfax. We need to move this forward. And, you know, what if we, just to throw this out there, because there's kind of a compromise, what if we reduce the fee, say, to a 2% figure, and left it at that, and that way we can, and then we can adopt the ordinance, and then in 2009 we can
Evaluate it, modify it.
evaluate it with our housing element.
I'd certainly agree to that.